coaching questions. Okay. We're going to be starting here in about 3 minutes. In the meantime, I opened up the chat. So if you guys would like to let us know where you're from, that would be awesome if you guys can do that. We're still not live inside of, oh, does it say, it does say live here. Did you go live on Facebook?
I did.
Welcome, everybody. I think we're a little bit early, like 3 minutes early.
Yeah, we're still,
All right,
yeah, we're still 3 minutes
just
early.
get started. Why not, right? Welcome, everybody. I was just about to say, if you are in Facebook, you're missing out on half of what you can be doing this morning. Okay, so we got quite a few people already inside of here. We got about 36 participants, so we know we got about 14,000 other ones that are not here yet that can be inside of Zoom. And I'm going to show you how to get there. Okay, and in the meantime, we'll get everything together and we'll get started at the top of the hour or the half hour. So I'm going to share my screen. So you guys are in Facebook. This is desktop one. If you are in Facebook like this and you're watching the live, I'm going to refresh this so I can see if the live is there. There it is. Okay. So if you like to come inside of Zoom, all of these events that are coaching events, right? This implementation calls that Russell talked about yesterday, you can find them under events right here. So depending on the mobile device that you're using, or if you're on a desktop like I am, look for events. And sometimes it's at the top of this bar right here. Other times you got to click on 3 little bars that some of the apps have before you can see more menus. But look for events. Click on events, and you'll see that there is events and when they're going to be happening. And you can see how we have this morning's call, Russell, and then an afternoon coaching call, right? The Q&A for the afternoon. For right now, for this one, we're going to click on the morning, and we're going to click on, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and grab this link for you guys. But if you guys get here, you can just simply click on there, and it'll take you to this page right here. You're going to put in your name and your email. And on the other page, because the webinar already started, it'll actually take you right inside of Zoom. So you don't have to do anything else, okay? So let me go back over here. I'm gonna make it easy for you guys and everybody else that comes in a little bit later on. I'm gonna give it to you right here, okay? As a comment. Oh, Lee already did it. So you have Lee's, Lee, can you already pin the link right to the top of the comments? So if you are in Facebook, and would like to be like literally answer your questions, come inside of Zoom by clicking on here. We are basically just streaming over to Facebook, so you know that there's a party going on inside of Zoom. Okay, so so that's it. That's the part of it. If for some reason you can't come inside of Zoom, you can leave comments. We do have somebody that's actually going to be looking at the comments and feeding it to us. Now, just to set a couple of expectations. We're going to do as much as we can in this hour that they've given us to actually help you guys out. But if for any reason we don't get to your question, please go ahead and leave your question here. Of course, I'm sure Lee's going to show you how we also have an awesome support department that actually would take care of any other questions, especially tech questions that we don't have the time to answer today in this format. A lot of you are going to have more questions that are more of the implementation, which is more like trying to strategize what you're going to do for your business, right? So maybe not so much for last night, because last night was just testing out different things. But when Russell comes in for today and you actually start building your funnel and things like that, I think that for this afternoon's call, it might be more of that, like, what am I going to do for my business, right? But yeah, either way, without further ado, I want to introduce you to the man of the hour, the guy that we go to for every one of the coaches comes here. We have questions for Lee because Lee knows everything. Literally, like everything you can think of, he has read it somewhere or knows about it. It's amazing. So Lee, how are you, man?
I'm great, man. Thank you for that. Thank you for that introduction. Great to see everyone here. Hopefully you enjoyed. You had a fantastic day one, right? And you know, it's only day one. Remember, we still have 4 more days and there's still a lot to cover, right? So what we're going to do today for this session is, first of all, we're just basically going to do a quick recap of where to find everything and as far as 2.0, right? And also to address like what was the assignment. I think I did see a couple of themes that were actually shared on Facebook. And some of them were not even visible. So the first thing I'm going to do is literally just show you how to make sure that your theme is public. Because if you've done, if you've already created your theme and you've worked on it on your homepage, right? And then you get to share it, and then you're the only person who can see it, it serves no good. So the first thing is, once you get to your dashboard, right? Click on site and funnels, right? And this will bring you to all the themes. Now, a question came up yesterday, hey, can I have multiple themes? Absolutely, right? But you can't have, you can only have one active one. Just think of it like you can have multiple cars, but you can't drive 2 cars at the same time, right? So you can have multiple themes, but you can only have one that is active. So just come to draft themes, and then you can come down to view all themes, and it'll show you a list of all the different themes. And the first thing is select which one you want to be active. So you would just click on the plus button, right? And that will, so let's say I wanted to swap from the hero theme to copy of 2.0, I would just click this plus sign, and that will make this one the active theme, right? So that's just a by the way. Now, as far as making sure that your theme is visible, right? It's public, because you don't want to be the only person who's seeing your site. Make sure you click on these 3 dots and then click on site settings, right? Once you click on site settings, this will bring you over to the site settings of the actual theme, right? And you can add your favicon. Favicon is pretty much like the little image that you have. You see like the ClickFunnels logo there? That's a favicon, right? And then you also have your site header, and this will be the header that will show up on every one of your pages within the theme, right? But the key thing is, under site availability, this is literally where you swap out from private to make sure you select public. Otherwise, if you leave it on private, you're the only person who can see your page. So all that beautiful work that you've done, all that effort that you've put in, you're the only one that can see it, which serves no good, right? So the first thing is make sure you select public, so that at least when you share your theme or you share your homepage, everyone else can actually see it. And then remember to actually come down here and then update the site. So just a quick touch, you know, make sure you select public from private. Head code, this is if you're going to add any tracking code like pixels and stuff like that. Advanced settings, I'm not even sure what that is, to be honest. But SEO is anything to do with site engine optimization. This is where you can put in a description about what problem you solve, what you're all about. You know, you can put in more description, insert an image. But for now, the key thing is just to come in. You can add a favicon, you can add a logo. But the key thing is, if you're going to share so that people can see your site, make sure you select public, right? And then remember to update the site. All right, so because we don't have, we have about an hour before, you know, we literally have an hour together. I'm going to try and answer as many questions as possible. So I'll go ahead and get into the Q&A. If you have any questions, make sure you put them in the Q&A, so that way I can answer them in the order that they were received, right? And I'm grateful Eli's here and Morag is here, so they can also help out, and I'll be checking in with them if there's any questions. And then also, if you have any questions on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, you're unable to join, no worries, you can still ask your question there. I may not answer all the questions on this call, but nevertheless, I'll definitely go back to the thread and definitely answer your questions. So don't worry if your question is not answered on this call. I'll definitely make sure that I answer it, right? All right, so I'll start with Charlotte. Charlotte is asking, I already built my funnel in ClickFunnels 1.0 and connected my domain to it. Do I need to switch my domain and funnel to 2.0, or can I just do the homework in ClickFunnels 1.0? You can still do it in 1.0, but the key thing here is that, remember, 2.0 is a complete experience, right? It's not just a funnel, it's a complete experience. It's a presence. It's a domination online, right? Because now when people come, the first thing they want to read is about you. What are you about? The second thing they want to know is what problem do you solve? So the theme, the whole purpose of 2.0 is so that you can have a domination online. And the domination is all about people come in, they read about you, and that's what the themes are for. And then from the themes, after they've broken that barrier of getting to know who you are, the next thing is now they can go through funnel. So I would highly recommend to just get into 2.0, right? I know it's probably going to be, it's going to be a little extra work to have to transfer your domain from 1.0 to 2.0 and transfer like your pages. But I would highly recommend that just dive into 2.0 because 2.0 is more of the future. I think that's where things are headed, right? All right, so let's see. Theta has a question. Can someone check to see if my domain is connected? So we can check real quick. And it looks like, so it may be connected. It's probably just missing. No, okay, it's not connected yet. It's not connected. I would recommend just open. So I think, let's see.
There seems to be an error there because it has
yeah.
the domain twice there.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll probably check the settings to see what's going on. And if not, remember to send them. You can open a ticket, CF2 support at clickfunnels.com. You can definitely open a ticket to troubleshoot and see what could be the problem. All right. Let's see. Tindai has a question. Tindai, welcome. How can we have information about more than one workspace and more than one domain? So you can definitely add more than one domain, right? In fact, I was just testing it yesterday, site and funnels, and then you can definitely add domains. You can also add subdomains. What specific question did you have about adding domains? If you could verify that, Tindai, I could probably point you in the right direction. If you could just add it in chat, and then I could point you in the right direction as far as where to go. But you could definitely add domains, right? You could definitely add domains. In fact, I was testing with adding even a subdomain, and yeah, you could definitely add domains. If I have 3 domains in 2.0, how do I get the right theme to the right domain? Beautiful question. So the way you do it, so that's for Jennifer. Jennifer, the way you do it is when you select the theme, right? Once you select the theme, let's go back to home, to the dashboard. Once you select your theme, let's go to site and funnels. Site and funnels, there you go. So once you select the theme, you would click on site settings, right? Under site settings, once you click on site settings, you can now go in, there's, come on. Yeah, there you go. So under site settings, you see where it says domain, you can select which domain you want to use for the theme, right? So you can select, so let's say you have a whole list of different domains, you can select which domain you want to use. Let's say I wanted to use, instead of using my subdomain, I wanted to use this ClickFunnels domain. All you do is just the drop-down menu, it'll show a list of all the domains that you have available, and then you can now select the one that you want to use, and then simply update the site, right? Cool. Jacob has a question. So Jacob is asking, can blog section be a podcast section? Absolutely. I think the key thing with blog section, you can add a list of your files. As long as you have an RSS feed, because the thing with blogs, mostly it's, hey, do you have a feeding system such that people can actually see the latest podcast episode? Absolutely, you could absolutely do that, right? You could absolutely do that. Let's see, Tina, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I missed yesterday. Is it possible to catch up? You can still catch up. Remember, the best place to actually go and catch up, go to guides, right? You come to guides, and yesterday's recording is here. Now, the recording is only available for 24 hours, right? So I don't know how fast you can catch up, but the recordings are only going to be in Facebook for 24 hours unless you upgrade to VIP, right? And the way to upgrade to VIP, I'll give you the link. This is how you literally upgrade to VIP. If you're in VIP, guess what? You don't even have to worry about replays. You have access to the replays without the 24-hour cap. So I would highly recommend go to sign up for VIP if you haven't already. So that way you can literally have access to all the recordings post the 24-hour cap. All right,
Okay.
Elizabeth, any questions? Oh, Morag, go ahead.
So yes, so thanks. We've put the link for VIP in chat as well. So one question that's coming through quite frequently is, how do you access the dashboard? And if you're logged out, how does the magic link work? So if you could possibly show, like, from just like you're logged out of ClickFunnels, how do you get back in there?
Fantastic. So so you would come here and then you can log out, right? But the way you get to your account, it's literally accounts.myclickfunnels.com. That will bring you to this login page, right? And then the way you log in is simply put in your email address, right? And then click on magic, continue with magic link, request magic link. And the way you know that you have the right email address, it'll have a green check mark, right? So I put in, the way I knew about this, I was putting in the wrong email address, and then it would show, oh, you know, magic link, it would show a red check mark. So now I have to go into my email address, right? And the login link will be on my email address, right? So once you go into your email address, you click on a link, it'll literally give you a link, and then on that link, once you click it, that's how you will have access to your ClickFunnels account. Now, if you haven't signed up, meaning you haven't gone through the challenge, right? You didn't sign up through the challenge, it'll redirect you. You'll still be able to get the magic link, but apparently you will need to go through your, you'll be redirected to go back and sign in through the challenge. Is that correct? I believe so, right? Morag?
Yes, if you didn't sign up at yourfirstchallenge.com, because at the moment you need to create an account there so that you can then create your ClickFunnels 2.0 account. So thank you very much, Lee, for showing us how to do that and how the magic link works as well. So I'll go ahead and let you log back in, because we've now got a question. If you can go into the editor, the question is from someone who was editing text. If I click somewhere else in the edit element, it may reset all the writing. Is there any way to change this? So when editing text, if I click somewhere else in the element, it may reset all the writing.
Yeah, so I noticed that when I was working on my so what you want to do is, once you put in your text, right, try and save. Like, just click anywhere outside, or even just try and quickly go into save it, and that's how it actually it keeps the updated information, right? So and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So I kept on, I was working on this earlier this morning, and every time I would there we go. So I would come in and, you know, I would, let's say I wanted to come in and, okay, there we go. I'll come in and, let's say, delete that, right? And then the minute I clicked outside, somewhere outside, you know, sometimes it would take it, sometimes it won't. But the best thing to do is literally anytime you make a change, right? Make sure you click outside the editor box, right? Or whatever the you know, the blue part is. It's pretty much like ClickFunnels Classic, right? You have the orange part, which is where you can go in and make the changes, you know, add the padding, reduce the padding, right? And then once you have text, right? For you to be able to actually add text, it has to be in the blue. It's not showing blue, but this is where now you can come in, you know, and add text, right? So let's see if I can, there we go. So it takes a little bit of timing, right? It's a bit of timing, but you go in and just play around with the timing. And then after you've made the changes, remember to click on save. I would highly recommend just clicking anywhere outside once you add the text. You know, like let's see, let me copy something and then paste. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Copy, and then come here. Paste. Yeah, there we go. And then just make sure you save. So save it the minute you paste it, save it. And then that way, you'll make sure that it doesn't get lost. Because I did notice that it did kind of jump back. So make sure you do that.
Fantastic. And then I think it was Malik that was asking, how did you get your photograph in that position?
Yeah, so this was remember the template that you had to download? All you have to do is just click on, click on the image, the previous image, and then just replace it. All you have to do is just click on the image URL, and then you can upload from your desktop and select which image you want to use, and then just add it on there. Now remember this URL. So anytime you add up, it'll have you're literally uploading it to the cloud. So the image. Your image is going to be within ClickFunnels Cloud, right? But then let's say you wanted to add an image where someone can click and go to a different location. You would scroll down, you see where it says link action of URL. This is where you would paste. So let's say like I was working on these on my social media, these social media links. So the image is already within ClickFunnels Cloud, but for me to make it clickable, I added my Facebook URL. So this is where you would add the clickable Facebook URL or whatever URL you want them to click out to.
Fantastic. Are you good, Lee, for me just to keep firing
sure.
questions at you? Eli, any questions from your side that are coming through before I continue here?
Yeah, actually, I was just looking at the times that they're coming in, and it looks like Elizabeth Oaks asked inside the chat and inside the Q&A too. We haven't talked about her yet. I can actually bring it up. So it's she asked, all I can see on that page are tons of lessons. My page looks nothing like that. I would have any trouble if I had the right page. So I'm guessing, can we go back to show her where you're going to actually see what we were working on yesterday? When you first come into the ClickFunnels 2.0?
Yeah, oh, how to log in?
Well, after you log in, well, go ahead and if you want to log in, but I think from here, like if you're on the homepage, she must be going to a funnel or a page or a course probably.
Okay.
It sounds like a course because she said there's a bunch of courses. So if you can talk her through this.
Yeah, so once you log in, after you've logged in, right, the first thing you're going to see is the dashboard. And the way you can always get back to your dashboard is just go back to the very top corner and it'll have a house, like a house logo, right? And so that's your dashboard. This is literally your homepage. If you want to like a snap of your fingers, you want to know what's going on with everything, how many leads you have, this is where you would go, right? But then now your site and funnels, this is where now you go to your themes. To get to your themes, you would come to your site and funnels. And this is all about your themes, right? So now you can explore themes, you can add themes, and really like the first, I was thinking about how do you define themes? Like how would you break it down so that people can understand like what a theme is and what a funnel is? So a theme is an aggregation of pages that come together so that when your dream customer is actually searching or Googling you, they discover and they get to pick what they want to know about you, right? So that's the purpose of a theme. So it's a congregation of pages. It has your home page. It has your about me page, right? It has your blog pages, right? So that's what the theme is for. They have more control because you don't really control the process by which you're discovered, but you have it there because, hey, we know now more than ever, credibility is everything, and people are literally Googling you, right? So the first thing you want to do, you want to control how they find you, but you don't want to control it entirely. You want to like almost put the breadcrumbs that leads to the bread. So the theme is literally there so that now you're discovered, so that they can read about you, they can read about what problem you solve, they can learn about your podcast, and then the funnel now is to now divert them into more concentrated or more specific problems that are relevant to them, right? So the theme is just a congregation of different pages that actually helps them know more about it before they decide what journey they want to go on, right? So once you get here, once you get to your theme, and you can definitely have multiple themes, but you can only use one theme at a time, right? So once you pick the theme that you want, right, and the way to see what themes you have access to, what themes you've downloaded, they'll show a list of all the themes here, right? They'll show all the active ones and the inactive ones. And then the way you get to select which theme do you want to be dominant, or which one are you going to be working on, right? Active, think of like which car you're going to drive. Let's say you have like 3 cars, or let's say you have a wardrobe of clothes and you decide, hey, which clothes am I, because you can't wear all your clothes at the same time, right? But you can pick one clothes that you want to wear, right? Or the clothes that you're going to wear for the day. So that's the same thing. You get to pick which one do you want to actually be active. And the way you do it is simply click on the plus sign, and that becomes your active theme. So hopefully that answers your question and clarifies it.
So that gets her to the theme. She wants to know, because I think that instead of going to sites and editing the site, like
Right.
what you did in the theme, she
Uh-huh.
went to, if we go back
To
to
funnels.
sites,
Yeah, she probably went to funnels. Yeah.
So if we
Yeah.
can get her from the homepage to the
Yeah.
theme, and then how to customize the theme.
Yeah, so once you click on there, you'll come to the theme. It'll show you what theme you have, and then simply click on customize. And then now you can go to your editor. So once you click on customize, it'll take you to the editor. And now this is where you can come in and see a list of different pages. Remember, theme is a congregation of different pages. The only difference is that these pages are not necessarily interlinked, right? They're not necessarily interlinked. With a funnel, it's a congregation of pages, but each page is interlinked and it's going through a very specific process. Does that answer our question? Is it clear?
I think her big thing was trying to get here to where she was looking at. And yeah, I think we answered that question.
Yeah, I do wonder, and if anybody else is having this issue. So remember, before everyone was given access to 2.0, it was like all you could see was like courses coming soon, where it would have the thumbnails. So it is possible that you haven't got an active ClickFunnels 2.0 account yet. So we'll put the support email in the chat, and then you can reach out to those. So if you can't see, like after what Lee has shown you here, reach out to support. They'll be able to help you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up, because I don't remember seeing that. So that's awesome.
All right, cool. So we have a bunch of questions. Let me try and so Thomas is asking, how do I upgrade to CF2 account? There's a link, right?
The free getting in here and upgrading to VIP, that's the only way to get to 2.0 account right now.
Yeah.
I just put the link on the chat again.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So let's go to Charmaine. He's asking, how can I build a funnel on my own web page? So on your web page, is your web page in 2.0? Charmaine, if you can give some insights on where your web page is. But generally funnels, and we'll be covering that, it'll be covered. So funnels within remember your theme is where you have all your pages, and then your funnels is where now you can come in and start creating more specific pages, and we'll be covering that. It'll be covered within the challenge.
Yeah,
right?
I think that the question was more like, can they do it on their own if they have a website or something like that? And while you can create a page like what Lee was showing you on the screen, to create a funnel with like WordPress and things like that, it's not optimal. It's really hard, and then it's most of the time you would have to create a very specific one so you don't have a lot of distractions. That's the big difference to me between having something that you're using ClickFunnels for. And we haven't gotten to that. That's actually what Russell's going to go into today, how to create the funnels. Yesterday, he was giving you like how to create basically like a homepage. We call it a funnel hub, because a funnel hub, unlike like a website homepage, everything that's there is meant to be a funnel. And that's the way that I look at the difference between a website and a funnel hub that you were working on yesterday. That was just like the homepage of a funnel hub. The more you create, the more you can put on a funnel hub and give people different reasons to either give you their email or buy from you, right? And that's, to me, we haven't gotten that far, because yesterday was just the beginning. It's just hey, this is what go play, right? Go play and play around with it with the editor and things like that. But really, what you want is funnels, and that's what Russell's going to be covering today.
Awesome. So there's a couple of questions. Can I delete a theme? Yes, you can. Right now, I tried to do that, right? And the way you would do it, you would come down here and then come to view all themes. But I'm not. I think it's still, it's not optimal yet. But you can definitely come down here and then remove theme, and then proceed. It's still not removing it, but I'm sure with time that functionality it'll be in place whereby you can just go in and delete the theme. Any questions, Morag and Eli, that are coming up that need to be answered?
Yeah. So here's a couple that have come through. And I think it's useful to kind of mention out loud as well. So if somebody wants to move their domain, what should they do? Is it something that they can do directly, or should they contact customer support? So the answer has come through. We've got confirmation on this that you will need to reach out to technical support or customer service for assistance. So it will be possible, but you will need to reach out to support. So just to add that in there. And then another one that came through here was, so that was all for me on if you wanted to move your domain. So I'll hand back over to Eli.
I got caught looking for some things and I'm reading the wrong ones that are not quite questions. I would ask everybody if you can go ahead and use the Q&A more than the chat. Like you can obviously chat back and forth on the chat, but if you can use the Q&A for your questions, it'll be nice. I just came across one real quick right now that I'm looking at, and it says, I'm an attorney. Can I set up a website and my domain for my practice through ClickFunnels in addition to my funnels, or do I have to keep them separate?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, I think the key thing is functionality. Like what is the function that you look, because each one of those pages, you can definitely set them up, but what is the function, right? What is the function and how does it tie in to the journey of who you're trying to bring in? So like every page has a function. So you could definitely you can still have like your theme pages and your blog sites. And those are usually more like, think of it like perspective, to add perspective. Why are you different? They're answering the questions of why are you different? How do you stand out as an attorney compared to all the other attorneys? What type of attorney you are? What are some of the cases you've had to deal with? Like literally to give you that positioning so that by the time they actually come to your funnel, they're all like, you don't even need to convince them anymore. You don't even need to sell them on anything. They're already on board.
Yeah. So,
okay, and just a heads up, I can't see the Q&A box, but we have got Gabrielle and Angela Wilson have asked questions in Q&A. I don't know if those have been covered, but I don't think they have. So,
and George just asked the same question too.
Yeah.
Next question actually.
Yeah. So see, transfer here. I have a full video pre-taped course, and let's look for ClickFunnels 2.0 version of the ClickFunnels 1.0 PLF 5 product launch form. Is there a funnel template? Yeah, so I'm thinking those funnels, yes, I was definitely checking it out, and there's definitely, so you can come in and create a funnel, within 2.0, and I've seen there's different types of funnels, right? Learn more about the different types of funnels. So you can pick, I think the cookbook is in there too, so you can definitely come in and pick what type of funnel you want. PLF is one of them. I know I had seen those funnels, so yeah, so as far as funnels, absolutely, absolutely, you can definitely add, and I think there's very specific types of funnels that you can. I'm just not sure how to add, let's say, to create a new funnel without having to. I had definitely seen it earlier when I was just playing around. You can come in, create funnel, and then, oh yeah, the recipes. There you go. So you come to the recipes and it'll show you what types of funnel. There you go. So there's your product launch funnel, George. You could definitely come in and select. So they have all these different funnels, and the types of funnel, right? You can pick which type of funnel you want to use.
Yeah, and from what I understand, they're going to keep on adding to these as time goes. So if you don't see what you're looking for right now, it'll probably be added pretty soon.
Cool. Asium from the Netherlands, having some technical issues with CF 2.0 now. I see no draft or explore themes. Also, my new made domain does not appear since yesterday. What I would do, so I would probably, let's see. I think the best thing you can do is probably send an email to CF2 support to see what's going on. I think that would probably be my best bet. Yeah, send an email to if you're not even seeing any themes. It may be even what was it, Morag? You mentioned that it could be like if they're not seeing themes, it could be that they have a
Yeah, so maybe you haven't got the right access. So
Yeah.
just make sure. I would ask you to double check. Did you sign up? So I know like lots of, we've got lots of people in the Facebook group. So did you sign up at yourfirstfunnelchallenge.com? If you did, then just go to myclickfunnels.com and put your email address, that same email address, and request magic link as Lee showed you earlier. And then that way that will tie up. If you came into the Facebook group or you were invited by a friend, so you didn't sign up at yourfirstfunnelchallenge.com, just pop over there. You can join for free and then you'll be able to log in and you should see everything. So try that, let us know. And of course, if you're like, no, I signed up with my email, still can't get in, absolutely reach out to support. Yeah.
All right. So Sebastian is asking if I make a button to book a free call and add Calendly, does ClickFunnels have that function? Yes, it should have that function. We did have it in 1.0 and it should be in 2.0. So I'll try and not get into more. I'll try and answer as many questions as possible because we only have about 20 minutes, 27 minutes. And I'll try and answer as many questions as possible. So that way, because Russell is about to go live, right? And we really have a hard stop at 30 minutes or to the hour. Even if, so Todd is asking, even after my site, I make my site public, it's not showing up. Let's see. So I would did you save it? Make sure you save it after you make it public. Make sure you actually update the site. Otherwise, if you don't, that may be the problem. And then yeah, I think that's the key thing. When after you click on the theme and you make it public, and make sure you go through the right place to make it public, right? It should show public. If it's not showing public, then maybe it's not public yet, or maybe you did set it up to public but didn't save it. So you didn't click on that update site. So that could be the problem. I'll definitely check it out. The domain I purchased in CF 2.0 from Monday's homework, can we rename the domain for other uses later without paying? So once you purchase a domain, literally like you own that domain for a year, so you could change the pathway, right? And the pathway is everything after the domain. But once you purchase the domain, that's pretty much it. You own it for a year. And then later on, you can decide, hey, do you want to purchase another domain, or do you want to, do you want to keep the same domain? But once you purchase a domain, that's pretty much it, right? You can't really change the domain. All right, Adi is asking, I have my domain connected, but it's showing the GoDaddy landing page and not my template. What is possibly going on? So if it's still showing your GoDaddy, right, then either it hasn't propagated yet. I would definitely check to see if it's connected. And then if not, it's probably still going through. I know GoDaddy takes a little longer than Namecheap to actually propagate. So you may want to check the settings of your domain, make sure everything is correct. And a great place to go is go to What's My DNS for everyone, what'smydns.com, right? And then just simply type in your domain, and see, hey, what are the DNS records? And this is for if you're a little bit more technical. You can come in and just type in your domain and then click on search, and it'll show all your DNS records. And that way you can see, has it propagated? Is it still pointing to the IP address of GoDaddy? So those are some of the things you can do. But other than that, if you're not technical, I would still just check and see. Sometimes it'll take a while. So just give it some time, and then make sure you go into ClickFunnels and see, check the domain status. It'll tell you the domain status. Charlie is asking, can we buy one-to-one coaching with the ClickFunnels coach to brainstorm my business strategy? I don't know how to answer that. We do have programs. We do definitely have programs, not one-to-one. We do have the coaching, the ClickFunnels 2 Comma Club coaching. and the inner circle, but as far as one-to-one, I don't, Eli Morak.
So not at this time. What I would say is maybe at the end of the challenge there will be more information, but not at this time.
Awesome.
So whilst I'm here as well, so Gabrielle very kindly posted her question in the chat. I don't know if you've seen it in Q&A. So if you could possibly help, she joined the free trial and VIP, cannot find a way to get into the software. I cannot do the homework. Please help me. I see no access to the 2.0 software.
Okay, so I think it's account, is it access or account.myclickfunnels.com? So did she already create, she hasn't created an account yet, right?
So she said, I joined the free and VIP. So I'm guessing VIP for the challenge, but yeah, the free trial, it sounds like she has already done that. So Gabrielle, Lee is going to answer, and Brenda is also saying that she's got the same problem. So Lee is going to show you here.
It should be just myclickfunnels.com. That's it. And then you'll have a login. But of course, I believe that in order to even set that up, you'll need to look for your email that you first get when you first got set up in order to go. Yeah, you logged in. So
so I'm logged in. Yeah, so I have to log out. Yeah, so myclickfunnels.com, right? So myclickfunnels.com will bring you to your homepage, like to the login page. And then once you get to the login page, if you like, you can definitely use a magic link, which will send the login to, you could definitely just put in your email address. And the first thing is make sure, like the way to do it is I would first just type in your, let me show you what I mean, right? So let's say I'm using my ClickFunnels account, right? Let's just put in my ClickFunnels email, right? And then click on continue with magic link, right? And then request magic link. So you see, like it's giving me that hazard, you know? And that hazard is a clear indication that either you're putting in the wrong email or that account doesn't really exist, right? Because and that's just without even going any further. So the way you can just stress test this, just put in your email address and then click on continue with magic link, request magic link. And the minute you click request magic link, if you do have an active account, this will literally show green. And that's how you would know. So plenty of times it could be that you're using an incorrect email or there's no account that's in existence.
Okay, if you could possibly show, because I'm just mindful of the time, we've got people asking where can we watch the replays? For example, the session yesterday, your session today, I think it was Jeff that was asking. Yeah.
So once you get into the group, this is the group, and remember, make sure you're in the right group, right? So your first funnel challenge, come down here. There's a tab called guides, right? Click on guides, and guides will have Russell's welcome video, all the videos, and then it'll have day one. Remember, these videos are going to be here for, I think it's 24 hours. I'm not sure if our implementation session videos will be around longer, but you can catch the recordings of our implementation Q&A sessions right here under guide 4, right?
Yeah, they will be added to those that are in VIP.
Yeah.
So know that including these calls, everything will be added to VIP. So if you don't see them here anymore after 24 hours, know that you'll need to upgrade to VIP to actually see them.
Right. So another question that's coming up, VIP, how do I get to VIP, right? How do I get to VIP? So it should be in your email, right? It should be in your email. You should have received a VIP link in your email, and that's how you just simply click on that. And there's a members area that will have all the replays and all of the videos without that 24-hour cap. All right.
Yeah,
Eli?
let me see. I do have like yesterday's email anyway. I can share my screen real quick so people can see what they're looking for.
Absolutely.
It actually says email VIP confirmation. This will stop. Oh no, you're sharing. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
And it's number 1. So this is the email that I got. It just says your VIP confirmation, your first email challenge, and you need to click on that link. We don't have a way to give you that link. You need to do it through the email. So if you don't get it, you can't find the email, just simply talk to support. They'll send you another one.
Yeah. Awesome. So let's see. Let's check along. We still have. I'll try and answer as many questions as possible. Share the wrong screen. I think this is it. Okay, there we go. So who has let me check along. On my homework, I can't write off an icon in the social media section. I can't write off an icon. So the way you get to the icon, right? Social media. Am I logged in again? I have to use. Oh, there we go. So the way you get to your icons is just click on customize. Actually, not even customize. Go to site settings. I think the icon. Okay, yeah. So the icon. I think you're talking about the social media icon. Oh, I have to go into my account and log back in.
That's the downside of having to show them, right? You have to go back and find it.
Yeah, I have to keep going.
Yeah, it's actually, he just covered that a little bit ago. It's actually part of the image that you're using. There's a setting in there where you're going to be able to actually put the link to your social media. And as soon as he gets in, he'll show you again.
Yeah. So
Let's see if that gets you in. There we go.
all right, so what you would do is you would go into your, just click on customize, and then once you're in customize, get to the social media. So there's two slots, right? There's the slot of the actual image, right?
I think she's talking about that she can't get rid of the icon.
Get rid of the icon.
Because it says ride, but I think, because I was thinking the same thing, like click on it and be able to make it over to the social media, but
this
Don,
one?
maybe you can let us know in the chat what you meant.
Like delete the icon?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
Oh yeah, so just click the trash can. Oh, there.
Okay, so I've got a couple of questions that have come through from Facebook. So before I do as well, so Brenda, Gabrielle, anybody else in chat that's letting us know you can't access the software, this is where it's an opportunity to reframe. I know, like, oh, I might be feeling frustrated. Russell's about to go live. Everything. This is a live challenge, so it's a chance to reframe. You can do it, but if you could reach out to cf2support@clickfunnels.com, they will be able to help you. Obviously, we're more of the implementation, questions around things like Magic Link. We can try our very best to help. So I've put the email link in chat there. So before we do that as well, a couple of questions from Facebook. If you use the Magic Link, it gives one access to the site. Okay, so fantastic for logging in. But then trying to reset the password in the account was a challenge because it required the original password before you could update. So any thoughts on that one? And then there is another question as well once we do that one.
So to try and like they're looking to actually change their password?
Yeah, reset your password. So if you use the Magic Link to log in, because you've forgotten your password, and then you want to reset your password once you're inside the account.
Oh, I see. So it's requiring your old password.
That's my workaround with that. Because it happened to me. Well, it didn't happen to me that way. I was trying to get the username and password rather than the Magic Link, because I hated using the Magic Link. So all I did was go into, and I don't want you to have to go outside again, Lee, because you have to log in back in. But if you log out and look for request, like you forgot the password, and use the forgot the password little app that they have there, it'll send you a way to create a new password, because it's going to send it to your forget password right underneath login. Yes, and if you use that, it'll send you an email where you can create a password. And then that way you'll know the password, so you can change it anytime you want in the future.
Yeah. The other thing you can do, you can use those password authenticators, that way you don't even have to remember your password, right? And just, some of them even, I think others even have like two-factor authentication, which they literally just sends you, like Google has a great authenticator. It just sends you a code, and then all you have to do is go to that app. It gives you a 6-digit number, and then put it in, and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
let's see. We're almost running out. We only have 15 minutes. Like,
So we
Yeah,
do
we're
have
supposed
one
to
more.
only be, right?
Yeah,
The good thing is that
so
we're sticking around, right? Because we're supposed to be only doing it for an hour, so we're trying to
yeah,
get to as
so
many questions as possible.
right. So I've got one here that is, and I think this might be for everyone as well. What do I write for your compelling your compelling strategy branded terms? So that's actually in the template. There's a section. So what
Yeah.
would you advise someone to write in there?
You're compelling. So let's go back. Let me reference that. Actually, you know what? I have my site is this the sub so start.leekariuki.com. So I'm thinking they're talking about here, right?
Yeah,
So
that's the one.
Yeah. So I think this is a great place where you can literally now just show out, right? Like really talk about like what is different about. Remember, like when people come to the homepage, they're really looking for 5 questions to be addressed. Like, who are you, right? What do you do, and why are you different? And what do you want them to do next? That's really what this page is for. So when it's asking your compelling strategy, like talk about what is your mechanism, what is unique about your method, right? Without really going into details, like you can literally just say, hey, remove whatever overwhelm through this, right? And you're not really going into depth. You're just giving them like what is unique about you, what problem do you really solve? So I think this is a perfect place because very quickly, remember, when people are coming here, they're not coming for in-depth. They just want to get the perspective. And then once they get the perspective, now your funnel is there to now take them down the rabbit hole, right? But when they land on this page, what they're really looking for is overview, quick synopsis, quick summary of what problem you solve and why are you different? What's unique about you? Hopefully that answers your question.
Fantastic, thank you. So that's all from my side. There have been, I'm sure, lots of other questions, so I'll let Eli pass over for there.
Yeah, actually, I was looking at the Q&A, and Eli, is it Elijah? Asked, hello, just how to post your webinar for people to join. Is there a specific format for that? I was looking under the recipes that we have in there, and I don't believe that they have the webinar one set up yet. Have you found otherwise? I know that, like I said, they're adding them every single day, but I have not seen them.
Yeah. So remember, like, we're still we're still adding things, and like it won't have everything day one, right? But I think the dev team is doing a fantastic job of adding everything in there. And they're really like this, even to where it is right now, is a huge accomplishment, right? So I think the key thing is just give them some grace if you're not finding everything here. Remember, it 1.0 or Classic, CF Classic, is 8 years in the making, right? This is barely a year, right? And it's still like up and running. So I think a little bit of just, if you don't find everything, just, I know it'll take a little bit of patience, but everything will be here, right? Remember, it's what, in fact, we just launched
Literally, day one.
Yesterday. Yeah, day one, right? Literally day one. So, if you don't find anything here, just give it some time. Everything will be added, and it's definitely like big huge shout out to the dev team just for bringing it where it is. Remember, 1.0 or Classic took 8 years to be where it is. This is barely a year.
Okay, so Sebastian has the next question, and it says, I have a domain hosted in Wix. Can I connect subdomain only to ClickFunnels to create funnels in that subdomain?
Absolutely. So I have Lee Kariuki in a different it's a different domain, but I wanted to test like how to add a subdomain. So the beauty of going through this, you would simply come in and click on connect existing domain, right? And then what you would do, especially if it's at Wix, you would now just give, let's say your domain is start.xyz.com, right? So you can do this start.xyz.com and just click on continue. And once you do that, right, the first thing it's going to do is, okay, someone actually has XYZ.
No, that's hilarious.
Wow. Okay. So nevertheless, you would continue with that. The first thing that's going to happen is it's going to first of all verify that you own the domain, right? You could do it the automatic way by start domain setup, or you can click on the manual way, which is now going to give you the records that you need to add over at Wix. I would recommend going the manual way. It's a little bit faster if you're technically savvy. If you know like what you're doing, you could definitely just click on the manual way and then copy this and then add it to your DNS records over at Wix. That will quickly verify that you own the domain. And then once you do that, now it's going to give you the CNAME, and CNAME is now how you create a subdomain. And that CNAME, you would copy it again and then take it over to Wix and then add it. And then once you do that, once the domain's been verified, the next step is it'll automatically just add the SSL certificate, and then you're good to go. And now you can use your subdomain. You can have your core domain at Wix and then your subdomain over at ClickFunnels.
I went ahead and added the document that teaches you how to do that.
Okay.
To the chat, so
okay,
they can actually take a look at it.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. So yeah, I'm actually shocking that someone owns xyz.com, right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Hello there, Stuart here. I need to be able to log into my dashboard. I have not been able to do that yet. I'm stuck at workplace and subdomain. Maybe you can take them to, well, it shouldn't need to do that part.
Workplace and subdomain.
Yeah.
Okay, under domains.
Yeah, I'm wondering if well, that's the part. He should not be able to log in and he can see that. So that means that he's logged in.
Yeah, you're probably logged in. If you can get to domains, if you're able to even see your domain section, then more than likely you're probably logged in. Right? Because even to get to this point, you can't really get to this point unless you're logged in.
And if it's not that, and again, this would be one of those things to reach out to support. They'll probably can send you a link that you can actually then come in and log in.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
Morag.
So let me Morag.
So let's see. Jen has just posted. So this is from Facebook. What is a solution for the error code 500? So I'm not sure what exactly that relates to, but error code 500 solution. I do see as well. So whilst without any further context behind it, I'm not really sure what that relates to. But I'm seeing a couple of people. Nicole has asked her question in Q&A. I can't see the Q&A, but she's asked it several times and she would really love an answer. So if you could find Nicole's question. Eli, do you see that? I beg your pardon.
We do have a lot of people ahead.
So
we do have 102 questions inside of the Q&A.
Okay, so it says
as fast as we can.
Yeah. I already have ClickFunnels. Do I need to join this free challenge to get 2.0? So Nicole, the answer is yes. Obviously, you need to sign up for the free challenge so that we can get you into ClickFunnels 2.0. So apologies that you had to wait. As Eli said there, we've got hundreds of people in the session. We are going to be ahead. Later on today, there's going to be another implementation session as well. So we do ask for your grace there. We obviously try to go as quickly as possible through the questions as well.
I think I did find the question, and I do want to address one other thing, because she says he's currently using ClickFunnels at the platinum level, and how do I get to the 2.0? So 2.0 and 1.0 are two different platforms. You can use the two different platforms at the same time and just pay for each one if you like. Another option you have is to actually, if you have everything running over in 1.0 and you want to start moving everything over to 2.0, you can actually start on that trial, the 30-day trial, through actually becoming a VIP, because that's the only way to start the trial. You have 30 days to play around with it. If you decide to keep it, you could put your ClickFunnels 1.0 in maintenance mode. That means that everything keeps on working, but you can't make any more changes. That's all it is. And now you can start building on 2.0 and only have one payment. The other part is that if you take Russell up on his offer right now, I believe it's $200 off, and you get grandfathered in at that price, versus waiting until several months from now. Maybe that offer will go away and then you have to pay the full I think it's $497, the regular price. So yeah, it's a lot less expensive to do it now, right? And you can actually move everything over as you can, right? If you wanted to, or you can leave the 1.0 the way it is and just build new funnels from that point.
Yeah. So I think the key question that I'm seeing a lot is, hey, my funnel is, I did the homework yesterday and my site is still not live. So the key thing is just make sure, if the first thing is once you're in your theme, if you don't see the word public next to your theme, then more than likely it's private. And how you want to make sure you can change it from private to public, just simply click on the 3 buttons and click on site settings. That will bring you to the site settings of the actual theme, just specific for this theme, right? And then make sure you come to site availability and select public, right? So that, because if you leave it at private, only you can see it and no one else can see it. But make sure you select public, and then just by selecting public is not enough, right? You still have to go back and click on update site. So I think a lot of people are probably just selecting public, but then they're not going back to actually update the site. So if you don't update the site, it'll still be private. So that's the question, because we only have about 3 minutes. So I'll try and answer most of the questions are either. So the question that I'm seeing is mostly, hey, how do I make my site public, right? So that's how to do it. As far as the other one I'm seeing a lot is domains, right? So domains just simply come in, connect existing domain, or you can buy a domain, right? If you go buy a domain, go through the process. There's really prompts that will walk you through, right? It's really simplified compared to 1.0. So here, all you have to do is just type in your domain. It'll tell you exactly who owns the domain, right? Click on continue, and then go through the steps. I already added this domain, so probably it won't show up. But I gave the example of xyz.com, right? Just simply type the domain, right? Or you have to put in www, right? Unless it's a subdomain, but simply type in the domain and it'll tell you who owns which registrar, right? And then click on add domain. And then there's 2 ways you can do this. You can either do it manually. If you're tech savvy, hey, you're the kind of guy that knows, or the girl that knows exactly how to get the DNS records and put them into your registrar, and you probably have a handle on it. Just simply click manual, right? And then check manual setup, or you can simply just click on DNS records and then copy these and take them over to your registrar, right? If not, if you don't even want to deal with these records, right, just simply click on start domain setup, and it's really, really simplified, right? It'll literally walk you through the process. Continue. Next step. Okay, it's analyzing. It's giving, it's literally simplified such that all you have to do is just a couple of clicks, right? And then you'll determine. It said GoDaddy, so you would definitely go down to GoDaddy and then select GoDaddy. It'll ask you to log in and stuff like that. So literally just walking you through, and that's how you get to add the domain. Now, it may take a little longer, right? It may take a little longer before your domain actually shows connected, right? It may take a little longer. It may take up to 48 hours, right? But just be patient with it. It'll definitely propagate, and then eventually, like you notice, I started this on October the 5th, and I started this yesterday, and all of them just went through. They're actually now propagating a whole lot faster. And the things that actually influence how much time it's going to take, it'll depend on where did you purchase your domain, who's your registrar. Some registrars will definitely propagate your domain much faster. Like Namecheap is fantastic. GoDaddy works, Google works, right? But the time frame may be different depending on the registrar.
Okay, we're right at 11:30.
We are.
Well, my time, 12:30.
Yeah. So thank you very much, everyone. And you can catch the replay under, just come to guides. You'll definitely. I'll put the replay there. And just remember, it's only day 1. Day 2 today, we're going to definitely dive in. Russell's going to go in over more stuff. So don't feel the pressure. Enjoy the process, right? Enjoy the process. It's a fantastic process. And if you don't get to enjoy it, that's when it feels stressful. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you. I'll still be around, and I'll be answering questions. Take care, everyone. All right.
All right. We'll have another one of these this afternoon. So
absolutely.
All right.